Something don't add up here. Well, guys, I'm back on the 2nd when I was meant to be back on the 5th. Could not stay at home any longer. Couldn't wait to get in. And I've come in to a bit of a scratch your head issue, and I can't get my head round it. Let's get the intro over and done with, and I'll show you what I'm on about. So guys, come in this morning on the 2nd when I'm meant to be in on the 5th, albeit I weren't in till 10:30. It's going to be a big struggle coming in on the Monday at the correct time. You know what it's like, the more time you have off, the later you stay in. I'm here and I've had a great day. First of all, excuse me camera work, my main priority today was to get this Cosworth block up on the boring bar. This is a Cosworth block that come in just as we broke up for Christmas. And we've got to be putting liners in that one. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to chomp that away. And that saves me a day's work on the Monday. I need to get this one out the door. So I've got that chomping away, guys. I'm on my 3rd bore. And I thought, while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to try and get the Escort up and running. Today's tasks was to get the carburetors back together and make sure they were all okay, because obviously I stripped them out. And they seem to be fine. They seem to be not leaking fuel and all that jazz. Still got to check my pressure on the fuel pressure regulator. Done a bit of a nut and bolt check. I've checked the timing on the distributor and I've turned the thing over, guys, with the plugs out. All seems to be good, except I don't know whether I'm getting no spark or no fuel at the minute, but it don't want to start up. But before that, I had a little bit of a problem. Obviously, what is the first thing that you do before you try and start up an engine once it's been rebuilt? And that is get your oil pressure up. This is sort of partly my fault, but when obviously I ordered a new oil pump, there was nothing wrong with the old oil pump. I ordered a new oil pump from Burton. It was a high pressure one, and I've put it on with the gasket they supplied. It was the supposedly the correct gasket. Put it on, put the engine into the car, filled it with oil, filled it with fluids, etc. Got a pressure gauge on it today, so I'll show you where I put the pressure gauge. Down here, we have rigged up I told you in a previous video, I've rigged up the original mechanical pressure gauge that goes through to your car and is on the dash. And actually that does work. But in front of that, there is a blank. So I put the pressure gauge into that, turn the car over, no oil pressure. I thought these can be a bit of a pain because of the design of the oil pump. Fortunately, the oil pump's external to the sump. It's on the side of the block on these, which is a great design. Don't know why more cars don't do it, probably because of room. So I've took the back off the pump, filled it full of grease, tried it again, still no oil pressure. I thought, well, I'm gonna have to take the sump off. Fortunately, it's only 3 8mm bolts that hold the pump on. Took it off. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have a look at this, but in the meantime, I'm just going to try the old pump, because there was nothing wrong with it. Put the old pump on, wanged it over, good oil pressure, comes up. And that's when I noticed my original gauge worked as well. So that's great news. I can keep my eye on that. Now comes the scratch your head part, guys. So this is the old pump. This is the new filter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this oil pump next to the one that I bought from Burton. Like I always say, there's probably some guys that are very familiar with Crossflows, etc. Now, these are the two pumps. So this is your new high pressure pump, which is supplied from Burton, and this is your old one. Now, this type of pump, you can see some of the channels are in a different sort of location, all a little bit different, the way it works. Now, I was told by Burton that this is, you've got to be careful because there's a front wheel drive and a rear wheel drive pump. Obviously, the front wheel drive pump is what they put on the Fiestas, but looking on their website, whether it's a generic picture or from what he sounds like on the phone, the salesman, all the pump faces are the same. The only thing difference with the front wheel drive pump is that this will be at 6 o'clock on the rear wheel drive engines, but on the Fiestas, is it around here or around here? Sort of 10 or 2 o'clock, can't remember now. But the face is still the same. But you can see with this pump, it's all a bit different. Now, if I go and get the gasket that Burton says goes with this oil pump, this is the gasket that they supplied, which is on the block at the moment, but this is a new gasket in this bottom end set here I've got from Ultra. And you can see this is for an Escort Mexico Capri. So this is a rear wheel drive bottom end gasket set, and that is the the gasket that comes with it, and that is the gasket that they said goes with this pump. Now, when I put this gasket over that oil pump, or just put it next to it, you can see that some of the oils just don't marry up. This one here will be blocked, and that one there, where there's a hole in the gasket for, does absolutely nothing on that pump. It sort of works a bit differently to the old pump. But this gasket does work on this one. You can see that hole now in the sort of left-hand side does actually go into that channel, which then goes down into that relief valve. So it does work differently, but that old one seems to work with that. So I was questioning that, and he was sure that that was the gasket. But obviously we have tried the new pump with that gasket, and it doesn't work. We've tried the old pump. If I just go onto my computer here, you can see all the oil pumps. They're the ones that the faces anyway look exactly the same as the ones they've supplied. I cannot find that old oil pump I've got. The only place I can find it is at Brands Hatch Performance, and that is definitely, I know it's got a gasket on, but that is the gasket that they are saying that goes with that other pump. But this gasket works on that one. So that is a different type. Although it says it's for a Crossflow and all the rest of it, it's definitely a slightly different type to the ones that Burton sell, and also anywhere I can find on the internet is all this type. So it's got that channel that goes round the back here. Yeah, I'll show you. It's got this sort of channel that goes round here into the relief spring, whereas this one's got one there and no channel up to there. So it's different. The gasket I think that goes with that, which Burton says doesn't, this gasket here. So that one there, they say he said it isn't the right one because that's for a Fiesta. But I'm thinking that all the pumps now are the same. They all use that gasket, and the only thing difference is the location of the oil filter. I could be completely wrong, guys. I'm a little bit stumped by it. I'm going to go down to Ultra Parts on Monday because they're not open till the 5th, and I'm going to take both pumps down there, and I'm just going to see what's going on. You can see the difference in these pumps, the way they work, look, because this one is blanked off. So this is the new style, but it just works slightly different. So obviously there is something different about them, but I'm thinking that this is what they use now. And you've got to use it with that gasket I've just showed you, and not the old style gasket which goes with that pump. Let me know what you think, guys. It'd be very interesting to know if any of you guys are pretty familiar with these Crossflows, because I have only come across the old style pumps, going to be honest with you. So let me know. Anyway, got oil pressure in the end with the old pump on for a moment. Tried to fire it up, nothing happens. So what I need to be doing is checking my fuel pressure, checking to make sure that we have got fuel going in, and to check that we've got a spark, but I can't really do it on my own, so I'm gonna have to wait till Monday. But the thing does turn over, there's plenty of compression and all the rest of it, guys. It's just not even trying to fire. So I don't know whether Isaac has rewired something. I know it's fairly simple. It all looks all right on the coil, but I'll have to wait till he comes back, make sure that he hasn't unplugged anything somewhere that I'm not looking for. So once we've got to the bottom of the oil pump situation over there, guys, I'm going to be getting a new oil pump for this engine that's going out, obviously, and I've got to build that up next week. I did say that I was going to show you this cylinder head, guys, last week, but I didn't show you. This is a Cosworth cylinder head that's coming for repair. And you can see that 3 of the cylinders all look pretty good, to be honest with you. It's been ported, this has. Looks like it's a bit of a home ported job. But then we've got down the bottom, look, a little nicety there that's happened where something's come adrift. I think it may have been one of the valve seats, or the head's come off the valve or something like that. And the customer seemed to think, when he inquired about getting this repaired, that that was scrap. But we have seen a lot worse than that. We've actually seen them before where you can't really tell where the original valve seats went. It was that mullered, and we have rescued it. So what we're going to be doing, guys, John has took the inserts out. That's the first thing to do, take all the old valve seats out. And we're going to be taking it to Tom Upton, get him to weld it all up, and we're going to be basically going off the old, one of the old cylinders with our Centronic, and we're going to be cutting putting new valve seats in it, and be cutting all the valve seats exactly the same as the old one, and rescuing that cylinder head, guys. So that is what that one is in for. Right, just before we go, really interesting to read some of the comments from the last video which was only a couple of days ago, on what people think that we should do with the cars. So they were saying, once we've got the yellow one done and potentially the van, a lot of people would love to see us complete the Escort van. I'm sort of with you there, really. I don't know what we're going to do when we have finished it, whether we're going to use it a bit, whether we use it as like a bit of a company van, bit of a promotional vehicle, but it's going to be a pretty special vehicle, probably worth a few quid, so I'm not sure whether we're going to get rid of it, but I would quite like to build that up. Most people saying once we've done the Escort, we're probably, and we've got the van done, etc., and even the BMW, whatever that's going to be, we're probably not really going to have any purpose for the kit car. So my feeling is at the moment, it's one of those where I haven't got it for sale, but it sort of is for sale. If someone comes along with a sensible offer, I'll probably get rid of it, guys, and it's going to be fairly cheap. It's definitely going to be probably half the price of what we've spent on that car. There's some fairly funky stuff. We've tested it at Chivna a few months ago, completely successful all day, touch wood, nothing went wrong, and it runs like an absolute dream now. So if you're looking for a good, bear in mind it's road legal, not so easy to drive on the road, but if you're looking for a perfect track toy, that is your car. For what you get for your money, it's unbelievable, to be honest with you. So this is probably going to be my new track/fast road toy for the time being. But that's it for another video, guys. Until Monday, have a great weekend, and I'll see you then. Thank you very much.